Here's Simon Ross from the think tank Population Matters, which is Sir David Attenborough's patron, and also Tanya Sullivan, a mum of 12, believe it or not, joins me as well. A mum of 12 and soon to be 13, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, congratulations on that front. Do you think you're being irresponsible? What do you think of Sir David Attenborough's comments?
Well, I think his comments that the world's population has grown because of rising birth rates is wrong. I mean, birth rates have been decreasing, the total fertility rate has been going down. So it's nothing to do with birth rate, it's more to do with, better medical care. We're wiser as to health. We've got better health care, people are living longer. So to be singling out families, or large families in particular, I think is completely wrong here. It's nothing to do with birth rates whatsoever.
OK, let's bring Simon in. Simon, I know you agree with Sir David. Do you think the likes of Tanya and many other women up and down the country are being irresponsible?
I think they're not thinking about the future. We live in a world of limited resources, and yet human numbers keep on growing. The single thing we can do to help the environment, wildlife, future generations is to have small families. OK, Tanya, what do you think about that? Because you know that medical advances are so much better, there's less likelihood, thank goodness, that your child is going to not make it through its infancy. Maybe you don't need to have as many children.
Well, see, this is the thing, and Sir David Attenborough's been quite choosy here, because what he's saying is, OK, 95 to 99% of our children we can birth and raise, whereas previously maybe, premature babies may have died, they've got illnesses, they're not going to be as fatal as they were because we've got cures for them, we've got vaccinations, yet he's chosen to have a pacemaker. So what he's said here is, I can tell you, restrict your family size so long as I'm OK. I mean, what's happening to natural selection there? It's a bit ironic.
And I have to say, we've had a tweet agreeing with you, actually, Hayley Rogers saying he talks of natural selection having small families after having a pacemaker fitted. Is that not slightly hypocritical? Good point, don't you think?
I think we all want to live as long as we can, and I think that's fair enough.
So what's the difference?
I think the difference is there really isn't a good reason to have a large family. People should be happy with one or two. If they want, they can foster, or they can go into childcare or something. But, there isn't a good reason. The more people there are, the more prices go up, the more we make life difficult for ourselves.
Well, no, because another argument that he's come up with is by saying that people should be happy with material things and be happy that they can have them, or something to that effect. And so what he's saying is not, let's stop consumerism. It's, no, less of you means more for me.
OK.
Which is not right.
Let's have a look at a picture of your lovely brood. You very kindly sent one in for us to look, and hopefully they're all watching tonight. I won't get you to name everyone because it'll probably take half the programme. But a lot of people will be watching this tonight, Tanya, thinking, why have you got so many children? Why do you like, obviously, getting pregnant and having babies?
Well, it's a very personal choice, whether anybody has any children at all, whether they choose to have one or two.
Why do you have so many children?
Well, we enjoyed having the children. We enjoyed having a large family, and we were quite happy to have them. But it's not for everybody.
Do you think you're being selfish?
No, I don't, because we're raising our children and we're raising them. You have to remember that people are producers as well as consumers. So unlike David Attenborough saying, let's have more for us. If there were less of you, there'll be more for us. We're actually saying, well, no, because we're raising them to be aware of the environment. We're raising them to be aware of things around them, and we're raising them to be producers.
Do you think that your grandchildren will have as good a lifestyle as you do? Because that's what he says. I mean, I think you could potentially have 144 grandchildren, and each of your 12 children have 12 children. Do you think they'll have a good lifestyle?
I could turn around and say, well, shall we cull the elderly? Shall we stop fertility treatment? Shall we restrict the population that way? But advocating something similar to China's one-child policy is not working. It's not worked there. It's not going to work. It should never, ever, ever be down to the government. It should always be an individual choice whether someone has children or not.
And very final brief comment from you, Simon.
I think the government can take a lead and say the moral thing to do, the responsible thing to do, is think about the future, about a limited planet, and have a small family.
Tanya and Simon, thank you very much. Fascinating to talk to you both.